I'm always looking for new ideas for snacks for the middle of the day because let's face it, sometimes we get a little bit hungry between meals. But sugar in snacks can be a big problem. So I like to make my own, and these are super delicious and there's very little sugar in these. These are my Sultana nut and puffed rice bars. So some coconut oil in there with about 1/4 cup of honey. So natural, delicious honey. You can see the coconut oil there has been melted a little bit because it's a little bit hot in my kitchen today. If it has solidified, all you have to do is just put it in the microwave just for about 30 seconds for it to loosen up and become liquefied. So now we're going to put the heat on and just allow those flavours to melt together. I now will add some cinnamon, so about a teaspoon of cinnamon, a good hit of cinnamon for this. Also some vanilla, so just some vanilla extract, or you can use some fresh vanilla, just scrape out the seeds. And I'll just give that a little stir, and that won't take long at all. Now, while that's heating up, we can get on with the dry ingredients. In this bowl, I've got 3 cups of puffed rice bubbles, fantastic. And into this, I will add some goji berries, so a little bit of sweetness from them, along with some dried cranberries, and some dried blueberries. So that comes to about 3 tablespoons, roughly. This is where you can be really adventurous with your rice bars. You can add whatever dried fruit you like. I love the addition of sultanas, so I'm going to add more sultanas than the other dried fruit. So about 1/4 cup of the sultanas. And seeds and nuts are fantastic for this. So I've got a duo here, pepitas and almonds. A handful go in, along with some coconut, and I've just toasted my coconut for this. Now with your hands, give that a mix to combine it all. Look at the colours in there, it looks fantastic. And now we can add our wet ingredients. So that's bubbled away nicely, and we'll just pour that straight over our rice bubbles. And it seems like a lot of liquid, but it's just going to soak it all up. And with a spoon, we're going to mix that. Don't mix it with your hands at this stage because that is piping hot. And once it's completely mixed in, I've got a baking dish here that I've just sprayed with a little bit of oil spray, and then I've placed some Glad wrap inside and just pressed down so there's no air bubbles. This is essential because it's going to help us take the bars out once it's set. So we'll pour that mixture into the baking dish, spread it out, and now you really want to make it quite even and press it down. So just even with a measuring cup here, press down on it, and the more compact it is, the better the result is with these bars. Now I'm going to cover this with some Glad wrap, and this goes into the freezer for about 1 hour, or you could just put it straight into the fridge if you're not in any rush. I'm in a rush because I'm hungry. Now this is firmed up nicely in the freezer, so I've just taken the top bit of Glad wrap off and now I'll carefully take it out, and that's why you need it in there. That's the reassurance policy. And then we'll put it onto our bench. I'll just flip it over first, very carefully, and then we'll just gently take that off, and I'll flip it over onto the nicer side. And now we can start slicing it into bars. Now you just need a really sharp knife for this, and just carefully slice through it so they hold their nice shape. And then we'll just cut off the little sides there, and now you can cut it into big bars if you like, or if you just need a little pick-me-up, you can just slice them in smaller bars. So I'll just cut that down the centre so we can make it nice and even, and then I will slice them again. You can see they're holding their shape nicely. What I do recommend is after slicing them, just place them back in the fridge into an airtight container, and you can just serve them straight from the fridge, again, so they hold their shape. I'll cut one more just to make up a nice batch there. And they are gorgeous pick-me-up snacks that have very little sugar apart from the honey in them. And of course, yes, you can buy these from the store. There's many different types on the market, but it's so much more rewarding if you know exactly what's going into these little snacks. And the taste, can't even compare.